Hello everyone and welcome back to GodSaw's Turnbuckle, and it is time once again. We do have some predictions and we will be going with WWE Wrestlepalooza. As of right now, it is a 5 match card, which does kind of make me feel a little bit weird about that. You figure there might be a few other matches on there. I don't know if they were going to be attempting to do a triple threat match with Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax. I'm not sure if that's actually going to end up happening, because it did seem like maybe Tiffany Stratton did pick up an injury, or an injury in the match with Jade Cargill on SmackDown last week. I'm not 100% certain on that, but it felt like they were leading up to a triple threat. We're not going to get that though in this case. And you figure they would be having more matches because they were trying to build this up as a more of a mega card. And honestly, we're getting more of the 5 match cards that we've been getting for most of the other PLEs at that point in time. So it'll be interesting to see if they add another match or something in that sense. They definitely have options for that if they want to go that route. But the 5 matches that they have here are going to honestly be pretty good ones to begin with. So maybe that will make up for the fact that there's only going to be 5 matches. And first off, we are going to go ahead and start with the WWE Championship match. It is going to be Cody Rhodes going up against Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes basically did come out to make the challenge after returning when Drew McIntyre did take him out a few weeks back. Now we know in terms of what was going on, Cody was going off to film Street Fighter at that point in time. He's going to be Guile in the movie, but they had to write him out somehow, and also set up a storyline to to basically set the championship match with him and Drew McIntyre. It was a good way of going with having Drew put Cody through the not like through the table from the top, but putting him through the table on the front facing side with a Claymore kick. I thought it was a nice little touch there. Cody comes back to save Randy Orton after Drew McIntyre had a match with Randy Orton, was going to do the same thing, and then challenged him to the match. Honestly, I don't feel like this is going to be too much in doubt on this one. I don't see them changing that title quite yet. I do see Cody Rhodes picking up the victory in this one. I just don't feel like there would be any other possible outcome with this. I mean, I guess you could put it on Drew McIntyre, but I don't think that would be the case yet. Though I would like to see Drew McIntyre maybe be the one that takes it off Cody Rhodes. It just won't be on this particular match. And up next, we are going to have a tag team match. It is going to be Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, going up against Bronson Reed and BronBreakker. This has been basically set up with all the beatdowns that Bronson Reed and BronBreakker have been doing as part of the vision at this time between Jay and Jimmy Uso, also throwing LA Knight in there as well. And then you've been seeing some tensions between LA Knight and Jey Uso, which has led to tensions between Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso as well. It's been kind of a nice little story that they've been telling going into this tag team match. And oddly enough, for this one, I'm going to go with Bronson Reed and BronBreakker to pick up the victory on this. I don't know if you're going to necessarily get a heel turn from either an LA Knight or Jey Uso in this particular case, but I feel like there may be some form of interference that will cause Bronson Reed and BronBreakker to pick up the victory. So I'm going to go with them on this one. And up next, it will be for the vacant Women's World Championship. It's going to be Stephanie Vaquer going up against Iyo Sky. And honestly, this is going to just be a very good match between the two of them. I don't feel like they've really been building up too much of a story between Iyo and Stephanie Vaquer in this case. It has been primarily between Iyo and Stephanie to a certain degree, but primarily going around with Asuka and Kairi Sane. I feel like a lot of the story's been going between them at this point in time. Now this could lead to some form of interference, or it could just be them two having a straight up match to go along with it. I do feel like Asuka and Kyrie are going to get involved in some way, shape, or form, it could potentially cost Iyo the match. Though I feel like where they're going to be going with this women's world title after Naomi had to vacate it is going to be probably putting it on one of their bigger stars at the time. Obviously, Stephanie Vaquer is very popular at this point, but I don't feel like it's time to necessarily put the title on her, especially if you're going to be going with a Women's World Championship route for Rhea Ripley in terms of having a match going into the going to the Crown Jewel in Perth and Australia, everything in that sense, which I do feel like that's gonna be the case. So it's gonna lead me to seeing Iyo Sky and picking Iyo Sky to pick up the victory and get that Women's World Championship. And up next is going to be mixed tag team action. It is going to be CM Punk and AJ Lee going up against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This has been a nice little twist going into the CM Punk Seth Rollins feud with Becky Lynch preventing CM Punk from winning the World Championship back at Clash in Paris, and forcing, or I won't say forcing, but causing AJ Lee to get involved and return to the WWE, and she's going to be joining up with her husband CM Punk. This has been a nice little twist for everything, because we know that Seth Rollins and CM Punk have been feuding for pretty much the last 2 years, so it's going to be nice to see something a little bit different within this particular feud. Probably probably a decent amount of this match is going to be focusing on when AJ Lee and Becky Lynch are going to actually start fighting each other in the match itself. I can't imagine they would be the ones starting the match in this case, because I feel like they're going to build up to that, because you had a very big build up to AJ Lee returning to the company, everything in that sense, and which was a very good return, and her segments afterwards have been very good as well. So I feel like that's going to be set up for a little bit later on in the match. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing in this match as well. How are they going to be, portraying everything between Punk and AJ Lee in the ring, and Seth and Becky in the ring, everything to go along with that. But for terms of predicting somebody to pick up the victory in this match, I don't feel like it's really in doubt. It has to be CM Punk and AJ Lee in this case. You have AJ Lee returning to the company. I just don't see them having them lose with her returning, and you have the potential of a singles feud between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch afterwards for that WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship as well. So I'm gonna go with CM Punk and AJ Lee. And up next is going to be more likely the main event of the night, is going to be John Cena going up against Brock Lesnar, I don't really feel like it's going to be too much in doubt of who's going to win this one, though I guess they could throw a curveball or swerve or something in this sense, if they're going to be doing multiple matches between Brock and John while John Cena's ending his retirement tour and everything to go along with that. You haven't really had too much interaction between them in terms of face-to-face interaction since SummerSlam. You've had the one segment where, John Cena was facing Sami Zayn for the US title. Brock Lesnar interfered in that match and F5 John Cena and Sami Zayn to basically end that match. You did have that really good promo with I won't say necessarily good, but it was a relatively funny promo with Brock Lesnar and R-Truth. And then you had Cena's promo on Monday night, which is a very fired up John Cena promo, which was a pretty good one as well. Honestly, I feel like in this case, I don't see John Cena losing matches before his final match in the retirement match in December. So I'm gonna go with John Cena to pick up the victory in this one. The only way I see it being any different is if they're gonna be doing multiple matches between the two of them before that December 13th date. But I don't necessarily know if that's going to be the case, or, that could definitely be a possibility as well. So we'll see what ends up happening, but I'm going to go with John Cena to pick up the victory in this one. And that is basically it for WWE Wrestlepalooza. They only have 5 matches, as I mentioned before, as of right now. Something could get added down the line. Hard to really say with that, but we'll see. We'll see how that ends out going. Honestly, the 5 matches that we have here could turn out to be pretty good matches to begin with. So all of them have that potential for it. So it should still be a rather enjoyable show if you can get the ESPN thing up and running, because I've been hearing that a lot of like cable and other things that are supposed to have the new ESPN app are not having it, are not going to have it quite yet, or by Wrestlepalooza. So I guess for some people they'll be able to get it and sign up without having to pay extra. Everybody else seems like they're gonna have to pay extra as of right now. We'll see how much that ends out changing as well. But for everything as well, if you did want to go ahead and leave your own predictions, feel free to comment down below, like the video if you so wish, and also subscribe to the channel as well if you so wish. And with that being said, I hope you all take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your day.